Hi, welcome to Martin Hacks. Today I'm going to talk about the job automation matrix, or basically which jobs are at risk of disappearing due to automation and robots. And I think this is a quite hot topic right now, as we see a lot of AIs and automation coming online, and people are also very worried about unemployment rates. I see that eventually it will not be that much of a problem as new technology will create new jobs. But in the meantime, that's going to be a lot of change. Predictions like this and many more are part of my book, The Future is Waiting. So if you are keen to learn more about that and the data behind, please take a look at it. I've taken data from the US Statistics Bureau, and I have categorized this data of jobs performed in the US in terms of high wages, low physical precision, and high physical precision. And in this sense, we can start seeing how many jobs, and that is the size of the bubble, like the amount of population working with one specific job. And I've tried to categorize it. The first one I will introduce you is a job that is high wage and high physical precision. That will be typically a surgeon. Okay, surgeons, they earn a lot of money. This will be like plus 200,000 US dollar a year, at least $200,000 to $300,000, and it's very it requires a lot of precision. On the other side of the scale, we have people who will earn a lot of money as well, but they require very little physical precision. Well, I'm sorry for that, but if someone becomes a little bit not happy with this, but that's a lawyer. Okay, my dad is a lawyer, by the way, so I know what I'm talking about. So lawyers, highly paid, low physical precision, but they have sort of encoded the entire law into their specific language. Is quite complicated to talk law. On a little bit on the lower paid and lower physical precision, we will have teachers. And a little bit less paid and more like a standard type of knowledge, that will be customer service. As you see, there is more and more people in other areas, not on the very high wage. What is also interesting is the last three bubbles. This bubble requires a lot of physical precision and is sort of middle pay. That will be truck drivers. There are a lot of truck drivers in the US. On the low wage, so there is still quite a lot of range and a lot of people working on that. That will be retail. So retail, salesperson, people who is like front desk, this type of jobs. The last thing is possibly the lowest wage, but it still requires quite a lot of physical precision, is food handling and preparation. Okay. This is the people sort of creating your taco, wrapping up and giving it to you in Taco Bell or McDonald's and so on. So these are sort of typical jobs and where they fit in this. How the robots are going to interact with this. And I think in each of the different quadrants we are going to see very specific types of automation or robots. Let's start with this one. This one, I believe that we are going to see a lot of what I call a specific AI. Okay, these are basically software that will be handling this specific type of knowledge. In this sense, in the lower quadrant, will be more of a general AI. Will be still a little bit specific, but it will be much easier. And here we start seeing, for instance, chatbots, right? But this will be more like what they call now the AIs. What it gets a little bit more interesting is when you put high physical precision. Okay, surgeon will be quite difficult to automate, but possibly he will have to deal with a machine that will do more precision than him, for perhaps a cheaper price. Not that much cheaper, but the precision will be higher. And here is where I see a lot of machine interactions. So you will still be very paid, but not very high pay, but not to do the job, but to actually allow or help the robot to do the job. Sometimes even better than you. In this case, we can see a lot of potential on that because it's very high wage, it's a very expensive product. In case of truck drivers, we also see that this could be completely automated perhaps, and this will be like autonomous cars, and then what we have is a specific AI, so let's call a specific plus a specific software, hardware. So it's a combination of a specific AI and a specific software that can solve problems in this area. Now, when we go down a little bit on wage, what we're going to see is that we require still a specific hardware, but we can bring some of the general AIs like chatbots and so on. And the interaction between the specific hardwares and the different AIs is going to come here quite soon. This is where we are really going to see the androids. In this area where there is hardware coming, not like super specific, because this could be like an arm, like a robotic arm, but it's a little bit more advanced than an arm and a little bit sort of more general than very specific AIs, or maybe just directly taking the AIs and embedding them into a specific hardware. So this is where we're going to see a lot of androids and a lot of jobs that they may be replaced. So that is my prediction for the next years. Again, as I said in one of the other videos, the industry of androids will be, it's now starting and will be like in the 70s with the computers, or in the last 10 years or so with the mobile phones and iPhones and so on. So I think this is a very interesting area to be. There is going to be a lot of adjacent startups and companies working with the androids in the next decade, and I hope this was quite interesting for you and something that you would like to discuss about. If you want to see more videos like this, more predictions, check out the book, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned. Thank you very much.